John Evans' design is more than John Evans' design. It's John Evans' interior architecture and design. And we take a great deal of trouble to talk to our clients to discover how they want to use the house. So we alter the spaces to actually fit with their lifestyle. If we can't achieve what we want to do with the structure that's available, then we'll take on an architect to actually rebuild the parts that we want to rebuild. This particular part of the building that you're standing in now was only a single story. And so we knocked the single story down and then rebuilt the house up. It was an architect I'd worked for before on a new build house in Yorkshire. We collaborated very strongly on this project. He did the architecture and we did the interior. And where we wanted things done in a particular way, he took it on board and did it for us. So it worked incredibly well. The whole benefit of doing a project from start to finish, which is what we're very lucky most of our projects are, is that we can handle every detail of it. And we have in our office 2 furniture designers that work with us. Sam, who handles this project, is a furniture designer. We do all the working drawings and everything, so every detail is considered. I particularly love the Georgian period. It seems to me they got it right. All the proportions and everything were absolutely perfect. And I love the way that Georgian architects designed everything. That to me is what we should be doing. The brief, like all briefs, starts off as we've got a certain style. Now, our job as interior architects, or interior designers for that matter, is to find out what that style is. And so we have to get to know the client. We do it in the form of likes and dislikes. We have long discussions with them, and then we put together 3D models. Any alterations can be made in the computer model, which saves a lot of money. So that's how we get our visions across, because we make sure that the client really buys into the vision before they actually move on to the builders. Our vision was to create a wonderful home that's very different. Within this house is the client, and the client's personality speaks within every room that we will go into. It's totally them, really. I've just made it happen. This room came about because of the owner of the house's collection of 70s memorabilia. The interest was to actually create a 70s room that could display these items. And then the client had the idea of having the televisions depict flying ducks. I thought that was great. There's 2 fridges in this room. There's one orange and one cream or ivory. And those are the colour combinations that we worked on. And the wall behind that we can see, that just, to me, that's pure 70s. And fortunately, I lived through it, so I had something to draw on in this room. Well, the cinema room is probably unlike any other cinema room that we've done, in the fact that it's got a theme to it. And the theme is a traditional movie theatre, you'd call it in the day. All the posters were bought for this particular room. In fact, the client also bought all the lights. And so it was, how do we transfer his ideas that he's bought into a movie theatre in a private home? The furniture was all handmade for this particular job. We've got chairs that you can sit at with footstools on. We've got places where you can lie and watch a film. All the velvet that's on the walls is also in the ceilings. All the accoutrements that you need are just outside that door. So as you come through, you're in a different world, and you can sit here and have your popcorn, you can have a drink. The curtains open and you're transformed to another world. And that's really what this whole room is about. To me, it's like no other movie theatre in a private home ever. I actually think it's wonderful. Well, there's not many houses have a speakeasy in their basement, is there? It's amazing. I mean, it's a proper American speakeasy from the 20s. The chair outside the door is there to wait until you get access to the speakeasy. And to get access to the speakeasy, you have to lift a period telephone and ring a number, and then somebody looks through a grill in the door, and then they press a button, and the magnetic locks unlock, and the door opens. And when you come through the door, you're faced on either side with newspapers cuttings from the period. It's got a beautiful bar in the corner. We designed the bar, we designed all the units that carry the bottles and the glasses. We researched the way that we should do the panelling from the books in the office, really. And then we put it into CAD so that we could see how it looked. And all the panelling and everything was bespoke made for this job, just to reflect the 20s. And it's so themed and carried through by the client, who was a big influence, really, that it actually works brilliantly, and I love it. I mean, I've not yet been to a party, but I can't wait to come to one, because I bet they have such wonderful parties. I mean, it's fantastic, really. This room is obviously a bedroom, but it's also a suite of rooms, and it was created for the lady of the house, and so it's got a very feminine feel to it. But it was created out of 3 rooms which were hardly used within the house, and every bit of the room was designed to take in the whole aspect of the suites, so the 3 rooms follow one another on. We liked the idea of the panelling, and the client really bought into it because she wanted a very feminine French sort of atmosphere to the room, which I think it has, and I think it works well with that. A lot of the furnishing is by the client. We've worked with them and the things that they like. We've designed elements of it, and we've bought elements of it for them. The corona over the bed, we've sorted all the drapes and how it works. But really the main thing for us was to make the 3 rooms work as a suite. I think they do. I would measure the success of it in the fact that we're still here. There's a site meeting going on at the moment because we're working on another area of the house. In fact, we're working on 2 new areas of the house in tandem with the house. It's a project that you don't get every day. And when I started the project, I didn't think it would end up like this. But it's been great fun. I like the ride.